This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, cat lovers. This is Michelle Fern, your host on Cattitude. Today, I have with me my buddy Cheryl Kaye. She hosts Unleashed by Cheryl Kaye. Super funny show. Be sure to check it out on Pet Life Radio. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool things for you cat lovers for the new year, for some new cat owners, for some people that maybe had cats and just forgot things about them. Who knows? But it'll be a fun show. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome Cheryl Kaye to Cattitude. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year. Glad to be here.
Happy New Year. Let's talk about, this is always a good thing. I thought today it'd be really cool to talk about things that we need to be aware of with our cats, which is good for, current cat people that have cats, for people that are new to cats, for people that might be getting a cat addition to their home, because it's always good to remember all this stuff and think, oh yeah, why did I forget about that? Kind of a refresher on cats.
Well, also that's perfect because, and especially elderly cats, because my cat is older with dementia, and there definitely is changes that you really should be aware of and address if possible. And also sometimes with the new year, and there's lots of kittens being born, sometimes it's a good thing to maybe bring another cat in. I mean, at one time I had 3. 2 is ideal. Depends on how big your home is. But, they don't like to be alone either.
No, cats are better in pairs for sure. I mean, I have 3, but 2 don't get along. And I've tried everything. But
that's how they get along.
Exactly.
They're not getting along.
Exactly.
The way they have issues.
But you know what? I think it's one of the most important things to be aware of. And I just had this with a guest that was in my home, and she didn't recognize this. And sometimes as, cat people, we take this for granted and don't share with our guests. But I think one of the things, I'm not going to do number 1, number 2, but one of the things that's most important is to watch your cat's body language. Cats are independent. They're not as easy to read sometimes as dogs. But if you have a new person to your cat or someone fairly new to your cat, you should always tell them, watch their body language. Once that paw goes up, move away or be swiped.
Right?
Doesn't that happen a lot? People go, oh, cute little kitty, and they dive in and pet them. And cats are not like dogs. They are not little dogs.
Right. That's true. And I know this is all about cats, but also with dogs, people have to watch. Like I found out that dogs don't like to be touched on the top of their head. They like to be touched under their chin. Cats like that too. But cats let their tails go. And if they walk over to you and they kind of like rub against you, but some of them are prima donnas and some of them like to watch from afar.
I have a variation because I have Miss Diva, which is Molly. She'll let you pet her, but if she doesn't know you or she's not in the mood, that paw goes up and that means swipe. And, you can't falter for these things because that's what cats do. That's how they let you know, hey, leave me alone. They don't have words to say it. They swipe. that's a cat thing. Then I have, Charlotte, who's in the middle. She is friendly to who she's friendly to, and then others no, but she's not a swiper. And then Dennis, who he's my dog cat because
he's a dog.
Part Maine Coon. Yeah, you come, he calls, you scratch him. He's never hissed at me and he's never swiped at me. He's different. But be aware of your cat's body language. We forget this. We forget to tell, our pet sitters this. We forget to tell, relatives that are visiting, especially if we forget to tell children, because if they're used to a cat that's all cuddly and whatever, then they find the cat that's more, quote, I hate the term, but cat-like, they have normal cat behaviors and then they get hurt. And then people get upset with the cat. Cats are cats.
Right.
Respect the cat.
Right. And some of them are feral. Even if you bring them in, they still have that they really don't want it. Animals, personality is personality. I never had cats that weren't very friendly with people. I mean, my cat, even though she's like 19, if somebody walks in my house, she gets up and walks over to them. And because she's got dementia now and she's deaf, she talks nonstop. She'll tell you about everything. It's amazing. She'll walk by a room I'm in and she just turns her head in and tells me something and then just keeps walking. It's so funny. She's probably saying, I'm going into the kitchen. I really hope you'll follow me and you will give me a treat.
Probably. I mean, I know every time the fridge opens, Molly is there and she's looking for her little cat treats. But let's talk about the litter boxes. Always.
Must we?
Well, just a little bit. There's rules to follow. People have heard this so much, and Cattitude and everywhere else have one extra litter box. Then you have cats. You have 2 cats, have 3 litter boxes. Be patient with your cats. If they're not used to a litter box, they'll learn, hopefully. No matter what I do, I still have issues with Charlotte, but it's just have patience, especially if you're bringing a new cat into your home. Where you want the litter box might not be where they want the litter box. So just be open to that.
Well, I just changed litter boxes because, as I've said, my female is elderly. And for some reason, maybe because she has arthritis, it was too much for her to get in. So I got rid of that litter box and I got a new one that kind of comes to like a point. But she'll poop in it. But she would prefer, to pee on a wee-wee pad right outside. And at this point, trying to train her, if I'm around, when I see her go, I'll push her right in and that's fine. But, they get lazy. She's old. Even the way she walks, I could tell the difference between her walking. Almost like
she's old. You said it. She's old. I don't know if it's lazy, but she's old.
No,
Zeus, when he was old,
19, 20, 21.
Right.
Years. Never like this.
Like for dogs, for Zeus, Mr. Zeus had a belly band. We have it for Nikki too. That's like a pad that they make for people for incontinence inside a wrap. For cats, I wish I could probably maybe put that on Dennis, but they don't make them for cats. They just don't. So you do the best you can.
She doesn't go anywhere outside of where a litter box is. I mean, the area.
That's good.
No, that's fine. I got those wee-wee pads because, first of all, I have painted cement floor. So I really don't care what happens. I'm lucky that way. But still, and it's easy. I don't even have to scoop up litter, unless she goes. But there are different changes in cats as they get older. And there's different changes in cats when a new cat comes in, even though they will become to be friends, that they like to do different things. They act out. It's like sibling rivalry.
Yes. And funny thing is that when Molly was brought into the home, she was a tiny kitten and Charlotte terrorized her. Now Molly's grown up and she terrorizes Charlotte. So payback's a bitch.
They call it calm and it's spelled ha-ha.
Yeah. So is what it is. About your cat's routine. Cats really like routine, right?
Well,
I think it's an all animal thing, but I really know dogs and cats.
They do
especially
like routine.
Cats.
And
they like routine.
Right.
Feed at a certain time. Litter box changes a certain time. They like as often as possible, of course.
Oh, they will watch you. And when you bring in the litter, that gives them, they like that too. They feel secure. But I've always noticed when I had my 2 cats, so I'm really only 1 year with only one, is that the change of the time zone was a big thing. This is when I started to notice that both of my cats were changing.
You mean the daylight savings
Yes,
time?
once the time changed.
Yes.
But then I started to notice. Now they always, when I woke up, they woke up. Now 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. If you get up to go to the bathroom, they have, she has to come, and then she tries to trip you, and then she wants to eat. The world revolves around her. Her routine is she eats a little bit of canned food. I have my coffee. She lets me know when my coffee's ready because I guess it's, the aroma. And then I give her the little gel so she doesn't get fur balls. And then she'll go down for, one of those wonderful naps that make me jealous. And then every time I go into the kitchen, she comes in, she does a little routine. She meows and she wants food and she loves ice in her water.
That's next thing I wanted to talk about with water, but it's nicer when my cats, they're still used to, I get up pretty early to feed them, usually 6:30. Sometimes I sleep in and my significant other, he takes care of it, which I love, but his feeding routine is more elaborate. Mine, he moves the bowls and this, I'm not that elaborate, but this is how I get woken up. Dennis comes over and taps me again. And taps me again. And if I set the alarm, for a little bit of snooze, I have more tapping. I literally have to sometimes shove him because sometimes
me
he's
too.
way early.
I go under the Cheyenne. She combs my hair. She annoys me. I have to put the pillow, the blanket over my head. And then after a while, it's like, you can't fight City Hall. She's not going to go away because she knows it works.
Right. I think there's a saying. What is the saying? Something, my cats don't live for me. I live for my cats or something, or they run the show. I just live here.
Right.
Maybe something like that. Right.
It's true.
That's how cats are. I mean, they're independent. They do their own thing, but what they want is when they want it. And that's how it is. And it's hard to change them. And yeah, when the time change happens, November, March, at least, here in the US, it always throws them off for whack. We set in our household, we keep it at the same time. So they're early for a little while and eventually they acclimate to the right time. But that's just how we do.
Yeah, but that's when I started to notice the difference in my cats because it just went on and on and on. Usually a week, 2 weeks, they get into it, because of, it gets earlier or it's darker. But no, it's you have to watch because they get into a routine. Of course, we are not lucky enough to sleep 8 hours in a row on a chair or on a couch and then, wake up and stretch and the world is beautiful.
No, we don't get to live the cat life.
No, they live,
they do well.
They live well. I'm proud to say they're happy cats. I've had all of my cats have lived very long lives.
That's always good. You know what? It's time for a short break. We're going to be right back after this word from our sponsor. Hey everyone, Michelle Fern here. I want to tell you about Carson Pet Products. They are a family-owned, budget-conscious company specializing in creating pet safety products to keep your pet happily protected from the puppy stage through the senior years. Carson offers a variety of products such as pet pens, folded elevated beds, crates, and pet gates. Their portable pet pens are lightweight and foldable and have a carry bag for storage when you're on the go. I love traveling with my portable pet pen from Carson. It's made traveling with Nikki so much easier. I've used my portable pet pen at home, again, traveling, or even when I'm doing a short road trip. They're also ideal to use at home, traveling, or simply headed to the park down the street. The portable pet pens come in 2 sizes, 6-panel or 8-panel, and they give your pet ample room to move around. Plus, you can add an attachable canopy to create a shaded outdoor oasis for your pet. Visit CarlsonPetProducts.com to get 25% off your order, plus free shipping using the promo code PETLIFE.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're chatting with Cheryl Kaye, all about cats and some things to watch out for cats if you're new to cats for the new year.
I would think because it's the beginning of the new year, if my cat Cheyenne could have a wish, she would want to not be deaf anymore. Isn't that strange that she just went deaf? If I clap really hard, she might hear it. But the weird thing is, she loves to go into the shower. She will wait for me to get out, but sometimes even if she's in a deep sleep and she doesn't hear anything, so I don't know how she knows.
She feels the vibration. I don't know if the shower
At first, I thought it was maybe she smelled the shampoo.
Possibly.
But she's on the other side of, my place. It's just
They have
very weird.
amazing.
But she could tell when I get ready for a shower, too. They have us
amazing scent. Sensory. They can pick up scents better than dogs.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, I've had guests that have told me,
dogs
so it's not going by my rule. They can actually pick up scents, better than dogs. It's just, and cats are very trainable, but it's just mostly like when you're looking, you find dogs, for police dogs and so forth versus cats.
Dogs have thousands.
Cats are very strong with sense of scent, very strong. But let's get back on subject here. Let's talk about a couple of things that you either have to get your cats used to right away when they're young little babies, or it's going to be tough.
Clipping their nails
that's one of them. Clipping their nails and drinking water. Now, drinking water, that can be a little later on sometimes, but nails earlier,
what do you mean,
and the more consistent,
later on? What
the better.
Doesn't drink water, and as they get older, they drink more water.
Some cats are used to it right from the beginning, and some cats, they never really get used to it, and it's kind of a challenge.
My cats always love when I put an ice cube in the water. It's like a big deal. But clipping the nails, I do that from the get-go.
If you do it from the get-go, I could do Dennis's nails. Forget Molly, forget it, and Charlotte. No.
And brushing. Brushing is very important because especially cats that get older, they don't groom as much as they normally would, but they love to be brushed.
Dennis loves it.
Maybe I'll miss one or two, but I try to do it every day, every other day for sure. They love it.
Absolutely love it. Okay, let's talk really quick, and then we're going to talk about some special stuff that's going on for this month in January, something really special and near and dear to both our hearts. But before we get to that, let's talk about how you can acclimate, what to expect in your home, especially if you're new to having kitties or you've had, the same cat forever. Now you're bringing a kitten in. These are just things to be aware of. First, forget about fancy sheets. I see people,
wires,
blinds,
definitely wires.
Sheets, I see people on Instagram and they have sheets that are $300 and this and that. I'm thinking, no way they have cats, because if the cats go on the bed, what do? Claw away.
Well, they're not going to claw away because you're going to trim their nails.
Well, sometimes you're lucky and you have a cat that doesn't.
And anybody who hasn't trimmed nails, there is a vein in there, so you have to look for it, or else, it'll bleed.
Trimming nails, you have to be careful.
But it's so easy. I use a regular nail clipper. I don't get those fancy things. And do the hind legs. When cats really would fight, they mostly would use their hind legs. When they slap you with their paws, they're just looking for you to go away. They're not looking to really hurt you. They're setting up a boundary. But a real attack, they would use their hind legs.
But talking about what to expect in your home for people that are not, used to they're bringing in maybe a kitten after a long time.
Kittens with claws love to climb curtains. It never happened to me, but I have seen it, and it is ugly. It's fun watching it if it's not your house.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I saw a TikTok and it was just this what to expect or something. It was just hilarious. But forget buying people that have listened to Cattitude for a long time. And I'm sure people that have listened to Unleash. Sometimes you have your older cat, you forget what these kittens do. I was afraid when I started with my cat crew over 10 years ago that cats, because they jump, right? That everything would get knocked over all the time. But my cats are, especially Dennis is a bigger cat. And they're not jumpers, really. They have cat trees. That's not a problem. They don't really jump and knock things over. But I still don't really have anything super delicate low.
Well, I've seen, if they want, Cheyenne once in a while, maybe she wants to, taste the plant and she'll climb on a table where there's something. The tell-all is I saw something on the floor. But plants also, you have to be careful what plants you have out because some are very dangerous and it can make them very sick.
Plants, also wet potpourri, which I talked about in my holiday show.
What's that?
Wet potpourri, like the little, people use it a lot during the holidays, but it's those little, they have the burners and the little potpourris that burn inside. Besides that, cats are curious, right? We know cats are curious. Besides them burning their paw, if they lick it, they have toxins.
Brought them back. All of these little sayings were said because they're true.
Of course. Other things, just people forget about. I think the best way, there's not really a way to prevent your cat from doing certain things. They're used to using their claws. You can have 50 million cat scratchers, and chances are they going to scrape your couch at some point? Yeah, probably. Are they going to claw the rug at some point? Yeah, probably. So, instead of a rug that's, I don't know, 1,000, 3, 4, 5,000, whatever it is, get one that's a couple $100. That's not going to cost you a fortune.
My cats don't go on my couch. They go on one bedroom chair and I'm on my bed. They do not go on my couch. Now, I have caught them, and when I do, they jump right off, but they do not go on my couch.
Well, see, that was going to be the rule. But
you have to be consistent.
Well, yes. And in my household,
and
the mister has a diva lover that he loves Molly, and Molly is allowed on the couch. So then the other ones are. They don't claw in the sitting part. They claw on one of the sides. But when we were buying the couch, I set some rules. One, it's not going to cost more than this, which was, a couple $1,000s. I'm not buying a $20,000 leather couch. I have cats, and I had 2 dogs at the time. So it doesn't make sense. Not like I really can afford a $20,000 couch anyway, but it was going to be, you have to look at material for just what's more important, that you have a little, the most expensive, fanciest couch there is, or you have your cat. Right. I mean, the others are things. So
also countertops just gets me. I have never had an animal on my countertop.
No,
and you also have to be careful, because of, the burners. I have seen, in these videos with cats, dogs set a pizza box on fire trying to get to it.
I hope somebody was just doing some silly TikTok or something, because that is like, that's nuts.
This is way before TikTok.
Oh, that's nuts. No, we actually, when we use the oven, we keep the door open. It's just, regular oven with oven door. It's not a double oven, nothing fancy. We just keep the door open so the cats can't jump up, because if they were to jump up, they'd burn their paws. Who wants that? So, the moral of all this, be aware, prevent as much as you can. And again, I think be aware. If you're bringing a kitten in, the kittens have to learn. They're going to claw some stuff. They're
going to learn from the other cat.
They're going to learn from the other cats, and or if it's just them, they're just going to learn. Keep your fancy stuff in the closet. Keep your closet door shut. Just basic things. And you'd be surprised. These are so basic, but how many people forget about these things? Or they say, oh, I really want 400-pound sheets. That's cool. Keep your bedroom door shut. Don't let your cats in there, because if they're on the bed, eventually the sheets will be clawed up. That's just how it rolls.
When I brought Daniel home, Cheyenne hissed at him and she ran under the bed. Now, he was a Maine Coon and, they're both fully grown, but she was lonely because her buddy had passed, and he stayed underneath the bed with her for the whole night. He was amazing. That's what really bonded them. And then when I think he came to me with fleas, even though they supposedly treated him at the shelter, in my patio, an outdoor patio that's screened in. And, of course I bombed it, but I brought them to the groomer and she let me keep them overnight. And I said to her, put them in the same cage. And ever since then, they were a couple. They were best buddies.
That's a great story. That is great when it works out that way.
Right.
I think if I put Molly and Charlotte in the same cage.
Well, this was when they first met. So there was but she hissed at him and ran. Oh, well, it's just like.
And if they're the same size, if you have a kitten and a grown cat, obviously there's a problem. You know,
I
don't
think
want
that's
that.
even easier. The grown cat.
No, not. It depends. It wasn't easy for Charlotte and Molly. We had to go through this whole thing.
When I had Ricky, then I got Cheyenne and I got Summer. They were kittens and he loved it. And I was so foolish. I put a gate. They jumped right over the gate and they were little.
Yes.
It was so funny. But
of course.
But even when I took Daniel to get groomed because of being a Mancoon and he came back from the groomer, she would hiss at him then too. He didn't smell like her anymore.
But that happened the same with Dennis because the other cats ignored him.
Even when they go to the vet.
Couple weeks.
You ever notice these
Not the vet.
animals could smell a vet when he gets out of the car?
Didn't have the problem with the vet, which is good. Let's talk about this special thing that's happening in January, specifically January 17th.
January 17th.
But it could be anytime January.
January 17th, the Betty White Challenge. All of us spread the word.
Right. And let's just say
up.
Betty White was a passionate animal lovers, advocate for the animals. She was on Pet Life Radio like 4 times. She just
blind.
So passionate. And if you've been anywhere on social media, so sad. Betty White passed away on December 31st. And people started, if everybody would donate $5 to their local shelter on her birthday,
right,
which would have been her 100th birthday, right? January 17th, right?
January 17th. You could do it the whole month of January because
any day. If you miss the 17th, do it the 18th.
Say no. And she also worked with the Dogs for the Blind and a lot of different zoos. If you go online, you could see all of her different places that she donated to and represented over like probably 50, 60 years. She was just unbelievable for animals.
Yes. And somebody somewhere, I saw this on Instagram, someone said, this would be something cool to do every January 17th. Just make a donation, even if it's like a small one, Well, if they're shooting for $5, that's affordable. That's not even lunch.
That's $5. You can't even go into Starbucks for $5.
Skip your Starbucks. Donate to your local shelter. Can you imagine how wonderful it'll be for the shelters?
If everybody tells everybody, believe me, we'd be shaking up the Rainbow Bridge.
For sure.
And talk about Rainbow Bridge. They had a picture of her with all of her animals. You could barely fit them all on a page. When you think about all of the pets she lost over 99 years.
Wow. What incredible lady.
Yep. Can't say anything negative about her. I still watch Golden Girls on television, and I laugh harder now than I did when it first came out.
There's a hashtag, and it says, be like Betty. And
right,
she's
a vodka with a lemon.
She reminds me. There's not that many people, and when we say people, mostly it's celebrities, and which people know the most about. And then, of course, there's people that are celebrities in the animal world, but there's like probably a handful of celebrities that you've never heard anything bad about. Besides Betty White, I could think of Dolly Parton. And today we're recording on the day that I found this out, which is sad to me. Sidney Poitier, he was another person that was just so one of a kind, respectful, gracious. And you can't say anything about any of them.
Forget about his acting.
No, he's an activist, all kinds of wonderful things.
He was really
so let's dedicate this episode to Betty White and Sidney Poitier.
Right.
I would Dolly, but Dolly's happily alive, and I don't want to do that.
I mean, she gives books.
Dolly's wonderful too. She's amazing, but I hope she has many more years. So everyone, remember the Betty White Challenge on her birthday. Please donate $5 if you can give more.
Any day in January
or anytime in January. If you can give more, great. If not, $5.
Even if you want to give more, give to more than one shelter.
That too.
I think it was last year during the pandemic, there was one shelter, I think it's in Montana. Every single one of their animals, dogs and cats, were adopted before Christmas.
Fantastic.
That's what it's all about.
We're just about out of time today. I want to thank Cheryl Kaye for coming on Cattitude. Thank you so much. It's always so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to thank my cat crew, Dennis, Charlotte, Molly, Jethro, Sammy, and hey, Nikki too. He's the dog. Keeps everybody in line. They've taught me a great deal about cats. Thanks to Cheryl Kaye for coming on Cattitude. And thanks to everyone listening. Thank you for making Cattitude such a popular cat show out there. So many people listening. And keep the emails coming. Michelle@PetLifeRadio.com. And a special huge thank you to Mark Winter for making me and my guest sound amazing. So you guys always listen to the best podcast. He does such a great job. And remember, lose the attitude. Have Cattitude.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.